Nancy Moore was 28 years old and worked in the accounting department of an insurance company. It was 3 p.m. when she got a call from her husband, Jack. "Hi, Nancy. Are you working overtime today?" Nancy could feel something wrong in Jack's voice. "Are you okay, Jack?" "What's the matter?" Nancy asked. She was a bit worried. "I'm good. I came home early today and wanted to know if you'll be here by 5:30. "There's no overtime today. Do you want me to leave now, hon?" Nancy asked. "No worries. I'll have a rest in the meantime. See you later." Jack hung up. Nancy was sure there was something bothering Jack. She immediately walked to her manager's office. "Ah, Nancy, we have a few files to look at during overtime today," Alan Perkins, with a huge smile, reminded Nancy before she could say anything. "Alan, I'm here to ask for permission to leave early." "Are you okay?" Alan frowned. "I'm fine. It's Jack. I think he is not well. He just called me from home." "Do what you need to do, Nancy. We'll catch up next time." She looked at her manager and nodded. When Nancy walked into the house, she found Jack dozing on the couch. "I'm home, darling." She woke him up. "Are you feeling well?" "Yes, sure." Jack sat up. "I'm a little bit tired. You are early." He glanced at his watch. "I left immediately after your call. I know you, Jack Moore. There is something bothering you." Nancy sat by his side on the couch. "It's that we need to talk." Jack turned his face and looked Nancy in her eyes. "Oh, God," Nancy thought. "Please, I don't want any bad news." She inhaled deeply. "What do you want to talk about, Jack?" she asked with fear. "I don't know how to start. You will agree that lately we have drifted apart." Nancy frowned. "I will be direct with you, Nancy. I have fallen out of love with you." "What?" Nancy jerked. "Honey, we are a married couple, and we have lots of goals for our future. You know that in a couple of months I will be off the pill. As we have discussed, we will start a family by the beginning of next year. We will buy our own house and—" "I know, Nancy," Jack cut in. "I have met someone." "Someone?" Nancy held back her tears. "Yes, a young woman, and we are in love. I'm sorry, but there's no easy way to tell you this. But Jack, how could you do this to me? To us?" Nancy was still trying to digest what was happening. "We have known each other for 5 years and been married for 3. The last 6 months you've changed and you have been neglecting me." "I have never neglected you, Jack. I am always here for you. You started with your weekly overtime, sometimes twice a week. But Jack, I am doing it for us. We need the money to buy a house. Then you started your weekly girls' night out with your colleagues. Afterwards, every Saturday you went shopping for a couple of hours. I work so hard, Jack, I need some time off for myself." "Have you ever thought about me?" Jack almost shouted. "Instead, with your colleagues, we could have gone out once a week on a date. On Saturdays, we could have gone shopping together." Nancy looked at the floor. Now she realized what she had done. "Please, Jack, I love you. We can work it out." "Nancy, 3 months ago when I talked to you about these issues, you were angry. You even raised your voice at me. Do you remember?" "I am really sorry, Jack, if I hurt you. I didn't see it that way 3 months ago. Now I know I was caring only for myself. Please, Jack, give me another chance. Let's work on our marriage." 3 months ago, I was completely down. During my lunch break, she came to sit by my side. She works in another department. She noticed that I was crying. She befriended me, and a couple of days later, she asked me what was wrong with my life. I told her everything. I needed to share my pain with someone, and she became a shoulder to cry on. Is she the one? Yes, Nancy. She is the one. And slowly we became emotionally attracted, and finally we fell in love. What's her name? What does she do? Nancy asked, with tears running down her face. Her name and what she does is not important. Better you don't know her. Have you two been intimate? Nancy asked. Yes, Nancy, I'm sorry. How could you? Nancy yelled. Nancy, tell me, when was the last time we made love? Jack asked. It was, Nancy tried hard to remember. It was 1 month ago, and it was not lovemaking. We just had a quick time because you were so tired. During these last 6 months, you have always been tired. We only had intimacy 3 times. But Jack, you should have asked. You should have initiated something. Nancy, intimacy forms part of the life of a couple. It comes naturally. There is nothing to ask, Jack replied. So you have been getting from her what I wasn't giving you. Yes, and more than that, Jack replied. Nancy frowned. She does things that you have always refused to do, Jack continued. But I never knew that you like it. Nancy tried to protest. Then she is better than me in bed, Nancy sobbed. I would rather say I get more pleasure with her. She always tries to look for the sensitive spots on my body, Jack replied. I'm sorry, Jack, if I could not be enough for you in bed. You will be served tomorrow. I filed under irreconcilable differences. Today I have taken 50% of our savings. We will keep our respective cars. We are both working. There is no question of alimony. The lease of this house expires in a few months. I will be staying here. Tonight I will move to the guest room. It's better you call your parents and explain everything. I presume you will move out to their place. Will she move in here in the meantime? Nancy asked. No, she won't. She doesn't want to touch your things, our furniture, or anything else that will remind me of you and our time together. In fact, we have already looked for an apartment at the new complex Lakeshore Heights. We have chosen one with the balcony which opens onto the lake. The building will be ready in a couple of months, which is a good thing for me as I will need to vacate from here almost at the same time. Lakeshore Heights, Nancy thought. That is where I was planning to move and wanted to convince Jack to buy an apartment. But why don't you move in with her? Nancy asked. She has a roommate in her 2-room apartment, and initially they put forward a rule not to bring in any third party. For this reason, we always had to book a motel room, and sometimes we did it in my car back seat. Jack, I love you and want to spend the rest of my life with you and grow old with you. Is there any way we can work on our marriage? I will close my eyes on your 3 months getaway with this girl. I will never bring this up, I promise. I will give you everything that she's giving you. I will never refuse you anything. We can go to counseling. Unfortunately, Nancy, I have already made up my mind and taken the decision. Jack stood up. I am going to take my things to the guest room and have a little nap. What if I refuse the divorce? I'll fight it, Nancy shouted. You'll spend a ton of money on lawyers' fees, and worst case scenario, we will simply resign from our jobs and move far away together. I will stay married to you but not live with you. You can't do that. It's not legal. It is indeed. There is no law in this country which can force me to stay here with you. Jack walked away. Nancy cried. Later, she called her parents and briefly explained the situation. Half an hour later, they were sitting by her side in the living room. How could he do this to you? John, Nancy's father, was furious. He can't throw away 3 years of marriage because of you not taking care of him for a couple of months, Mary shouted. He should have talked to you and settled any concerns. It was my fault, Mom. Nancy dried her tears. I have been neglecting him, and this pushed him into the arms of that woman. He should understand that you were doing all these for both of you, and you needed some time for yourself because of your work pressure, John said. I want to talk to him. Please call him down here. No, Dad. He is having a rest. You can have a talk with him in a couple of days when you've calmed down. Will you pack your things and come with us? We will help you, Mary asked her daughter. I will stay, Nancy said while her parents sat down confused. I will try to conquer him back. Are you sure? Both parents asked at the same time. Yes, Nancy replied. Okay, we are leaving now, but if there is anything, just give us a call. Understand? Yes, Dad. Nancy went to her room and cried till she fell asleep. In the middle of the night, she woke up and walked down to the kitchen. She found an empty pizza box near the trash can. "He didn't wake me up for dinner. He ordered takeout for himself only," Nancy thought. She drank a glass of water and went back to bed. The following morning, when she came out of her room, she could hear the garage door closing down and Jack's car speeding away. She got ready and drove to work. Before lunch, Alan Perkins called Nancy in his office. "Since this morning you've been acting weird. It seems that you've been crying. Everything okay at home?" he asked. "Jack is divorcing me." "What? How? Does he found someone else. He is in love with her." "I'm really sorry," Alan replied. "He said that I have been neglecting him, which is true." Nancy bowed her head. "He found solace in a young woman working in the same company." "Do you need some time off? You can take as many days off as you want." "I will let you know when I'll need them. For now, I prefer to come to work, but there won't be any staying late." "I understand," Alan replied. That afternoon, Nancy cooked Jack's favorite meal. The kitchen was filled with the aroma when he arrived home. He went directly to his room without any word to Nancy. Later, he came down cleaned and changed. "I have a date with her," he told Nancy. "I have cooked for both of us and—" Nancy was almost crying. "Better you don't cook for me as from now. We'll do our things separately." "As you wish, Jack." "Don't know what time I will be back." Jack walked to the door. "I love you, Jack." Tears flew down her face. Jack closed the door behind him. The following afternoon, when Nancy arrived home, Jack was already there. Nancy put her handbag away and walked to the kitchen to pour herself a glass of water. The doorbell rang. "It's for you," Jack said without looking at Nancy. She frowned and went to open the door to a man in a suit. "Are you Mrs. Nancy Moore?" "Yes, I am." "You have been served." He handed her a manila envelope. "Have a nice evening, ma'am." The man turned and walked away. Nancy almost collapsed when she took the envelope. She had to lean against the wall. "Please sign it and let's move on with our life," Jack said at her back. Nancy turned around and looked at Jack straight into his eyes. "So, 6 months I have been neglecting you and you forgot all the good times we had together. I told you I would change, which I have. I will be the best wife and best friend. Please, I beg you, Jack. I am only asking for another chance. It was a mistake. Can't you forgive me?" "A mistake? Well, how can it be a mistake when you had planned everything beforehand?" "It's not what you think," Nancy replied. "You tell me what I should think. About the good time we had together, it was you who put an end to it. And believe me, the time I am spending now with her is way better than the one we had together. Just sign the papers, will you?" Jack walked to his room. Nancy sat down and opened the envelope with trembling hands. She went through the documents and signed them. Later, when she went to her room, she could hear Jack talking on the phone. His door was open. "Yes, baby," he said. "She has been served this afternoon. The countdown has started. I love you too, sweetheart. You will go off the pill right now. That's a good idea. We can get married right after the divorce with your swollen belly. You will look fantastic in your wedding dress." Nancy walked into her room and closed the door behind her. "If only I could go back in time," she told herself. The following day, she woke up early, left the papers on the kitchen table, and drove to her work. There, she called her parents and updated them about her situation. They asked her to pack up and leave the house. She only replied that she would. Later, she informed Alan Perkins that she signed the divorce papers. "It will be very tough for you," he said. "You can't imagine. It's as if the whole world crashed on me," Nancy sobbed. "You should not let yourself be brought down. You are still young. Maybe life has reserved other good things for you in the future." "Jack was my future and I messed up." "Can we go for a drink after work to relieve some pressure?" Alan Perkins asked. "It all started with a drink after work, remember?" Nancy turned around and walked to her workstation. As the days went by, Jack would come home late after eating out. When he was at home, he would make himself a sandwich. He would do his own shopping. Nancy started to be more provocative at home, walking in shorts and a tank top. She would sometimes come to the kitchen, wrapped in a towel when Jack was there. She would play the music and songs that he liked most. Sometimes she would bend in front of him. She would always wait for him in the evening and try to start a conversation. Sometimes he would refuse, pretending to be tired, and would go to his room. But sometimes he would sit down and listen to her. She never talked about the other woman. She always made it a must to bring back their old memories together, where she would see glitter in his eyes and a smile on his face. But then he would change the conversation. On weekends, Jack would mow the grass or find something to keep him busy, avoiding Nancy. In the evening, he would go out alone and come back very late. One Friday, she called Jack and asked him for a date that evening. It would be dinner and dance. He accepted. She was extremely happy. Even her colleagues saw the change in her. She came home early and prepared herself. She applied nail polish and chose the dress that Jack liked the most, a short-sleeve pleated turquoise dress. She did her hair and chose her makeup carefully. They had a nice dinner. They talked about everything except their actual situation. At a certain moment, Nancy felt that whatever happened during those last 6 months was like a nightmare, and she just woke up, putting everything behind her, as if they were still the madly in love couple as they used to be. After dinner, they took their drinks and went to sit near the dance floor. A man came and invited Nancy to dance. She looked at Jack. The latter shrugged his shoulders. She politely declined, and the man walked away. "Will you have this dance with me?" she asked Jack. Without a word, Jack stood up, took her by the hand, and pulled her to the dance floor. They danced 5 songs in a row. They moved to the rhythm of the music. When they were returning to their table, a slow song started. Without a word, Nancy pulled Jack to the dance floor, clung to him, and placed her head on his shoulder. He could feel her breath on his neck. For weeks, she wanted to hug him, feel his body against her, and make passionate love to him. She didn't care if people were watching or what they were thinking. She was with her man and could do whatever she wanted. She gave a sudden push forward toward Jack's body. "Let's go home," Jack whispered in her ear. Nancy smiled. On their way back, Jack focused on his driving while Nancy sat down and hummed a few songs they just danced together. After Jack parked his car in the garage, Nancy ran to her room, left the door open, got undressed, and lay naked on the bed waiting for her husband. Jack walked down the hallway, passed by Nancy's room without turning to glance at her, and made his way to the guest room. A shocked Nancy lay on the bed, trying to figure out what happened. She jumped and rushed to the guest room. She opened the door without knocking. Jack was shirtless. "What happened? Why don't you take your wife?" "It's been weeks since you didn't touch me, and I am excited as hell. And I know you are too, as I could feel on the dance floor." "Nancy, we are getting a divorce. We can't be intimate. We are still married, and I am still your wife. Please, honey." She approached Jack and tried to hug him. He avoided her and sat on his bed. "Take what is yours, Jack. Do whatever you want with me. I will never refuse you anything." She sat by his sides and tried to kiss him on the lips. He turned his face away and she got his cheek. "Please, Jack, don't leave me. Don't divorce me. I love you. I only ask for your forgiveness. I know we can work it out. Let's just forget that stupid 6 months as if they never existed. You can do it, Jack, because you don't hate me." "It's a bit too late, Nancy," Jack replied. "It's never too late, Jack. Your weakness has led you to someone else. You were vulnerable because of the situation I created. I was stupid, egotistical, and selfish. I've learned my mistakes, and I promise it will never happen again. I will be the best wife walking this earth." Jack didn't say anything. He had a distant look in his eyes. Nancy knelt in front of him and took both his hands. "I'll be your girl, Jack. Your wish is my command. You can hit me, beat me every day. Punish me for what I did to you, humiliate me, but Jack, be my husband till death do us part," she cried. "I can't." Jack looked down at her straight into the eyes. "But why can't you?" Nancy asked. "Because I can't cheat on her." Nancy stood up with anger. Her! She yelled. "Who is she, by the way? Can't you see that she is a homewrecker? The cheating woman has seduced you and played with your weakness. She knew you were married, and this did not stop her seduce you. How do you know that she will not cheat on you?" "She won't. Whatever you just told me you would do, she'll be more than that." Resigned, she walked to the door and stopped. "I'm tired, Jack. This divorce is eating me up. First thing tomorrow, I'll call my parents to come and help me to pack," she said without turning to face him. "I am really sorry for my mistakes. Please forgive me for the pain I caused you. I wish I was wiser. I wish you a happy life with your future wife." She walked away to her room with her head bowed down. The following morning, Nancy's parents came early. "Dark circles under your eyes? Sleepless nights again?" Mary asked. Nancy didn't reply. "You should have left this place the first time he dropped the bomb on you," John told his daughter. "I know, Dad, but I wanted to gain him back." "Just forget him. There are tons of young men out there who will fall for you in a heartbeat," Mary spat. "I have a few words to tell this jerk. Wake him up." John grew angry. "Just leave him alone. You'll waste your time, Dad. Mom, come help me with the packing, please." "You wanted to talk." Jack walked down the stairs. "Yes, jerk." John turned red with anger. "You are a real son of a blip." "Dad, please." Nancy shook her head. "I need to tell this worthless man exactly what I think about him." John turned towards Jack. "Because of your male ego, you can't accept that your wife should also have some private moment for herself. She's been working very hard, overtime after overtime, and for what? To bring extra money so that both of you can buy a house as soon as planned. Maybe she went a bit too far with her girls' night out or Saturday shopping, but she needed them to relax. She accepts she made a mistake and begged for forgiveness. And what do? You cheat on her with the first woman you meet and have her served." Jack stayed quiet and fixed John in the eyes. Nancy held her father's arm and tried to pull him upstairs to her room. "The first day you brought him to our house, I knew he would not be a good fit for you, Nancy. You were so much in love that I kept quiet and prayed that I was wrong." "Come on, John," Mary soothed. "We have more important things to do." Both mother and daughter took John by the arms and brought him upstairs. Jack opened the door and found John's van in the middle of the driveway. He decided to walk 2 blocks to the nearest coffee shop. 3 months later. On the eve the case would be heard, Nancy took some days off work. With her parents, they went to spend some time in their cabin. She wanted to be away from the crowd. She knew the divorce would be granted by the judge, and she didn't want to be there at the court. She didn't want to be disturbed by friends and colleagues. She asked her parents to turn their cell phones off. The following morning at 11 o'clock, there was a knock at the door. All 3 looked at each other. No one knew where they were. Mary opened the door to Jack, standing at the entrance. "I need to tell Nancy a few things, and it's good if you are present," Jack told Mary. "How dare you come here, jerk! Get out of my property now!" John shouted. Nancy stayed quiet. She did not know what to do. "I have tried to call everywhere and even went to your house. I presume you have all your cell phones shut down." Jack addressed himself to Mary, ignoring John. "I knew all of you would be here." He was still standing at the door. "What do you want, Jack?" Nancy found the courage to ask. "The judge has already granted the divorce at 10 this morning. We are single as of today," Jack answered. "You came here all the way just to inform my daughter about being single again?" Mary raised her voice. "Please, go away before I break your jaws." John pointed his finger at Jack. "My daughter has been suffering for the last 3 months, and you come here today to put the final nail in the coffin." "I have been suffering for 6 months and no one has ever noticed," Jack yelled. Everyone was taken aback by Jack's sudden burst of anger. He pushed Mary aside and walked into the cabin. There was never a she, a her, or a female colleague, Jack barked at Nancy. I have never cheated on you, Nancy. It was a setup. But why? Nancy was shocked by Jack's revelation. John and Mary stood still. Why? Can you confirm the same? Jack asked. Confirm what? Nancy asked. That you have never cheated on me? Nancy suddenly felt her feet becoming weak. She could not stand. She sprawled onto her chair. Jack turned to his ex-in-laws. For 6 months, this cheating woman has been cheating with her boss, Alan Perkins. There was a sudden, complete silence in the room. John and Mary could not believe their ears. They looked at their daughter. She could not face them. She started to cry. All those overtimes, girls' night out or Saturday shopping, you were cheating with him in motels or in the backseat of his car. I had a private investigator follow you, and I have DVDs, lots of them. Please, darling, John pleaded to Nancy. Tell me that this is not true, that he is lying. I am sorry, Nancy cried. I could have divorced you with all the proof I had, but I wanted to do something to make you suffer, for you to feel what I felt, for you to know what being cheated on means. I wanted you to be hurt, to feel the pain, to bleed. Jack spat. You did things with him that you have always refused me. You know what I am talking about. You let him belittle me when he was with you. You gave him what belongs to me. You disrespected me. You didn't have time for me, but you were spending every little moment with him. You are the worst unfaithful woman I know. Nancy cried louder. Mary held her husband tight. Put your phone on. You should have hundreds of calls from your work and Alan. Nancy frowned. She took her cell phone and started it. She had lots of missed calls and messages. As yesterday we were still married, I had my lawyer filed a lawsuit against the insurance company and Alan Perkins. Alienation of affection still exists in our state. Oh no, Nancy cried. According to my lawyer, we can get up to 7 figures. One good thing from your cheating is that you will bring me some money. Jack laughed. Nancy glanced at her phone. The missed calls were from her job and Alan Perkins. She read the last text message. It was from the Human Resource Department asking her to call them as soon as possible. She scrolled down to Alan's message. He was swearing. By the way, yesterday I contacted Alan's wife and gave her a set of DVDs. She said she would send him to the cleaners and make it hard for him to see his 2 children. She even offered me a revenge love. I am meeting her tonight since I am single now. He has a family. Why did you do that? Nancy asked. I did nothing. You wrecked their home when you started to cheat. And you know what is funny? I intend to move in with Mrs. Perkins for a while to rub it in Alan's face because he will still need to pay the mortgage while I am with his wife. It's better if you leave now, Jack, John said. Right now, we will have to deal with our own misery. I'm not finished yet, Jack roared to John and turned to Nancy. I am sure you have already been fired by the insurance company. Alan, too. He loved you after working hours in your workplace and claimed overtime for you. I don't think he will get another job in the financial sector. Nancy could not face Jack. She just shook her head. By the way, last month I lost a bag containing a set of your famous DVDs, and this morning I found out they were uploaded online with your name, phone number, and address. Jack smirked. Don't worry about being fired. I am sure you will get a job in the adult industry. Oh my God! Nancy passed out. Now I am finished. Jack walked to the door and turned to face John. The jerk doesn't want to have anything to do with all of you and doesn't want to see you again. The unfaithful wife can rot in hell. He left the cabin. And so, we've reached the end of today's story. Was it what you expected, or did it take a twist you didn't see coming? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below, and let's get a conversation going. If this story kept you hooked, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here or just haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to join our community. I bring you fresh, captivating stories every day, so click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.